Okay, we should be good. All right, guys, welcome. Got a little bit of a new setup here, so we'll see how this works out. Because if people have been watching the Twitch streams, there's been some glitchiness, so I switched over how I'm doing this, and I've got my iPad over here so I can watch you guys. I've got my screen over here so I can see what the stream's doing. All right, guys, welcome. Oh, see, glitchy. Got a little bit of a new setup here, so we'll... let's kill that. Okay, good. That's why I left that open, so I can see what's going on. Hey guys, welcome. Oh, Germany, welcome. Florida, nice. Black no sugar. I have to have a little bit of cream in my coffee, otherwise my stomach just can't handle it, unfortunately. Ah, Canada, nice. No, not the instant Korean coffee. I usually only I've been drinking that at the studio. No coffee endorsement. So yeah, sorry, it's been a while. I've had a busy couple of weeks. Oh, it's doing the. I don't know if you guys can see. It's doing like a little closed caption as I'm going. Not terrible. So it's been a little bit busy, so I haven't had a video for you guys in a little bit. So I thought that as I was sitting here doing stuff, I was like, what can I do for a video? And then I was like, well, this is the video, right? Kind of what goes on when I'm kind of planning stuff, and I thought I'd catch you up on a few things. So last week, went out, had Sharina came back in town. You guys probably know Sharina. If you don't, the last video we did live for Adorama feature her. She came up and we shot kind of up near me, and we had some fun. So there'll be some videos coming out for that. And then, of course, if you missed it, actually, let me send you guys I'll put it in the chat here. We did a live stream for Adorama last week, which was basically we're getting those going again. So if you guys, kind of if you know me from that, we're definitely getting back into doing the live streams at Adorama. We did one 2 weeks ago, then we did one this week, and the next one, as it's planned, anyways. Should be on the 6th, I believe, of... I'm just copying the link up here. The 6th of August, which is not this week. It's not this Thursday. I think it's next Thursday. We're kind of figuring out a way to keep a steady schedule. Now that it seems like it's a bit safer to come in and out of the city, I've been coming in and out of the studio a bit more so that we can actually produce some of that content. There we go. Everything's a little bit slow here. I guess I have a lot of things going on. I may have to turn some things off because I think we're getting too much stuff going on. But hey, Arthur. Some RGB in the background. Yeah, I messed around a little bit with some gels because I got bored. So I'm using this Felix setup. Someday I'll show it, I guess. Actually, I got a couple things. I got a grid. The reason why I wasn't throwing color on the background, even though that's very trendy, I'm trendy now, was because this softbox was just spreading too much. I have a pretty small room here, and it was just getting too washed out. So I had switched to I put an umbrella on the background instead to keep it, kind of even. But now that I got a grid for this bad boy, I can keep the light off the background and the wall over here. It's much darker than it was, and I can put gels back there. So I got a couple of gels going on the wall, getting all fancy. Hey, Steve. Let's see, North Carolina. All right. Huh. Yeah, I got the fairy lights going. France. Wow, Norway. Oh, we're all over the place. I'm glad I do these. Oh, Cornwall. Okay. Brazil. Bolivia. Wow. Okay. You guys are coming from all over. That's great. That's why I try to do these kind of in the middle of the day when I can, which is easier now because we're, currently I'm not really going out much, because of the... Sounds funny. I'm going to probably close this one once we start going. But, so yeah, it's all good. We'll kind of keep this open to a little bit of... that looks nice stream. All right, I'm going to kill this here because I think I got too much stuff going. Let me kill this. Let me kill this. I guess I got to keep this open. Let's see what else we got here. I need OBS. I need the Finder. I need that. Oh, I don't need Capture One. That's for sure. You know, speaking of Capture One, if you guys don't know, oh yeah, I can see it. Let me know if it's freezing up for you guys. Oh yeah. I was dropping tons of frames, but now it looks like I'm back. I think I just had too much stuff going on. I was watching the stream in 2 different places plus the thing, so too much. If you haven't been part of this conversation, I've been talking with Seth about we're considering getting PCs for the streaming because OBS just seems to work. OBS, which is the system that I'm using to do all the switching, seems to work better on a PC. It's definitely made for PCs, so we've been looking into that. So now I'm gonna have to lean forward to read. Yeah, I keep freezing. Yep. Okay. Wow, all over the place. All right, let's see. Was the other one sabotage? No, and Seth's Mac's like 2 years newer than mine, and he was having a lot of trouble with it. I think I've determined a few of the things that are the problem. One is Chrome. Chrome hates OBS plus Mac. And then also watching the stream back, which is what I was doing just now, which I probably shouldn't do. So what I'm currently doing, for those who are interested in the streaming part, is that I've got my main monitor here, which is kind of my editing monitor. And then I have my laptop open, and on that I'm running OBS so I can do the switching for you guys, and I'm streaming from it. And then I actually have my iPad in front of me. That's not hooked up to anything. I'm just watching the stream there. So there's a little disconnect, but I think it's working better this way. We'll see if we get any more glitches. Frozen came in, but it's fine now. Okay, yeah, I think it's yeah, I don't. Neither one of us are really going a PC. We're just gonna set them up as streaming computers because the best way to stream, from what I've seen now, is with an independent setup like this, is to basically push all this stuff into a computer that's just doing the stream. So you do all your Photoshop or whatever you're doing on your computer, and then you basically just send it out like it's a second monitor to the other computer, which then does all the streaming work. So we're gonna, well, maybe not me, but Seth's definitely doing it. Yeah, OBS is definitely more of a PC thing. Yeah, and also the other thing too is that Macs have a weird audio system, so you can't just capture your display audio easy enough. It's like a whole process which I made it work, but it's a big pain in the butt. So, yeah, it's weird. So, anyways, yeah, so that's wrong. Yeah, Chrome is terrible. If 250 Macs and 15,000 PCs, holy cow. Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people, I mean, we're different. I think the most people that are watching this and then we're here is because we are most of us in the creative arts. So a lot of us are using Macs for that reason because they're good for some stuff. I'm not gonna have that debate, but I think for the average person, like my brother-in-law had this super powerful MacBook for a while, and it was such overkill. He ended up buying a Chromebook for $300, and he's happier with it. So it's to each his own, right? Cast unfreeze. Yeah. All right. So a couple cool things are going on. So, anyways, one reason why I'm doing this is because I got a new thing. Finally broke down and got this bad boy. I'm setting it up now. I'm going to show it to you guys if I can. Hopefully, I don't screw up the stream when I do this. It's the Stream Deck, I guess it's called. There we go. So basically, what this is gonna, well, I mean, you can use it for a lot of stuff, which I just realized. So I have my Photoshop and stuff in here. You can switch your apps with it and put in macros. But what I'm mostly using it for is to control OBS. So in theory, when I want to switch around, to this screen, let's say, or to this one, then I can just press a button. I don't have to go over to OBS because that's a bit of a pain in the butt. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. That's what I spend my money on if you guys were ever curious. Jamaica. Oh man, I have not been in Jamaica in a long time. Let's see. Yeah, GPUs and PCs. Yeah, well, so I'm looking into building. I'm watching YouTube videos about how to build PCs. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, Stream Deck. It's pretty cool. I mean, the Stream Deck is pretty nice. I'm gonna need a bigger screen to read my comments, so I'm not constantly leaning my head into you guys. But anyways, let's talk about this. So what I was doing was I was thinking to myself, well, I've got a plan for the next chunk of videos for Adorama and for my site, for my own work here. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of do. Sometimes I just know what I want to do. You know, I'll just be walking down the street and I'll just make a note. But sometimes I'll do like a little just general research. So I thought I would do this and talk about it. And if people have questions, we can just go there a bit. Hey, Brad. Also, let me know. Well, I guess I can see because I can see the chat. I activated this bot thing, so it should like give you my links and stuff because people always ask me that. So theoretically, links should be popping up once in a while. We'll see if that ever happens. Linus Tech Tips is a great channel for PC building. Okay, good. Let me write that down. Yeah, you know what's funny? So I started looking at building PCs. It's completely unrelated to anything, really. But there's all these like cases. I guess they look like, well, they're probably plexiglass things, but they look like they're made out of glass. And then they have all these lights that like spin and flash around as the fans go. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So I may have to get a computer like that just because it's wild. I've never seen such a thing. Yeah, I'll check that out. To Linus Tech Tips. Did I write it down right? Yes, I did. YouTube. So hold on, let me write down what that's for. For building PCs. Awesome. It also occurred to me this morning that like if I do this whole thing, then I have to like buy Windows because or whatever that you put on a PC because if you build it yourself, you don't get software, right? Unless it's free. I don't think it's free. I'm guessing it's not. Vibrant red when it's working. That's awesome. Yeah. So can you change them, the spinnies, or it just happens to work out? Yeah, I haven't deeply looked into it yet because I started looking. And actually, I think Adorama had one on special. It was like the daily special. They must be reading my mind. And it was like $130. And I was like, I should just buy it. But then I'm like, I don't know anything about the case. I should buy a random case. But yeah. Yeah, and I'll have it match the background. Exactly. That's the whole thing. We'll get the cool background matching and stuff. I you know, what can I say? I like stuff like that. All right, so let's yeah, see, I'm not actually using an RGB light. I have 3 different lights with gels on them. I was considering doing it. What's going on, Trevor? Yeah, well, we're back on Adorama, so because we haven't been on in a while, it might not be recommending it to you guys. So keep an eye out. You know, I try to post on social when I'm doing it, but let me just check to make sure again the date. I'm going to be live in Adorama, not this Thursday, but next. So the 6th of August. And it should start repeating itself every other week going into the future unless something happens. Or until we get into like September, October, you reach those holidays. I don't know if I have them in my calendar or not. You know, there's the religious holiday. I used to do them every single Thursday, but a couple times a month. Oh. Yeah, I mean, if you have somebody, like if your brother's a computer tech, that's pretty awesome. Because I mean, if you have somebody that can build it for you, yeah. When I ask my computer friends questions, like PC friends, they say things, and I just look at them like, okay, good, yeah, I'll do that. But I have no idea what any of that stuff means. You can display a GIF because I'm terrible with remembering things. In near Frankfurt, not in Frankfurt, but near Frankfurt, and then I drove north to where Dado Light is, which is it'll slip my mind until it happens. But it was really I didn't you know I looked at it and I was like, oh, I'll drive. It was like a 6-hour drive, and it was pretty fun driving through Germany and seeing like the different the different parts of the world. I guess I haven't really driven like normally when I go to countries that are foreign to me, so anything outside the U.S. I'm typically like being driven around, but I took a car and it was really fun. I mean, I drove up and yeah, of course I got to meet Dado, which was amazing because he's like phenomenal. Yeah, we should do a how to build. I know. Well, I think. I didn't even. I mean, Adorama actually sells PC stuff. I have to see if I can actually get it through them because maybe they'll give me a discount. I'm not sure because the videos I'm watching, of course, are all sending me to online things. But I feel like if I can build it somewhere local, it might be better for me. Or I'll be asking you guys tons of questions. Yeah, I'll do a video about it if I make one. Yeah, we haven't been twice a day on Thursdays. Yep, that's right. We used to be. Just followed you on IG. We'll keep an eye out. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I generally will post the day I'm going to go. So as far as going live for this stuff, I'm also, if you guys don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitch, I'm getting back into that again, which is on Sundays. I spend a couple hours editing in Capture One. So if you're interested in that, not photoshopping, but oh, I'm freezing again. Looks like, or I just did really still. Not doing like a heavy Photoshop necessarily, but I go through the shoots I go through. I talk about what I'm thinking or which ones I pick, kind of my thought process. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and somewhere eventually the links should pop up in the chat because I activated a bot to do that. Any guesstimate on when? Can I make this bigger? I wish I could make the chat bigger. Any guesstimate on when going back to the event space? I have no idea. I have not actually been physically in Datorama in a while. And, right now, and of course, I don't know. This is not official by any means. Clearly, the walk-in business in stores everywhere is probably very much lower than, whatever. So I don't think they're going to want to start anything that's going to cost them money until the store starts rolling again. That's my guess, because they haven't mentioned anything to me. You can use a PC also as a render server for Premiere Pro. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's the reason why I'll probably, I started watching videos, and of course I was watching the cheapest way to stream videos, because of course I'm cheap, right? And I was like, I'll get myself like a $200, the most basic PC that can do it. But then as I'm, now I'm up over $1,000 because it's like, well, I might want to use it for rendering. I might want to use it, So yeah, that's pretty good if you can use it for Premiere. Because one thing that really is a time suck, if anybody here does video stuff, is the idea of like when I'm doing a video and then I have to render, I literally have to stop working because otherwise it just will take forever because the computer, I need to let it have all the power to render. So if you could just, have I ever exposed in a gallery? Yes, I have. So why build versus, oh, I don't know. I mean, I say build, I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm freezing again. Huh, I wonder why I'm having such a weird, I wonder if the Stream Deck's doing it. Anything plugged into my computer confuses it, I think. So sorry if I'm a little bit jumpy here. Why build versus buy? I don't know. I mean, I didn't even look into buying. Every video that you see is about building. So, being in a gallery. Well, so aside from when I very, very first started and I was in school and that was kind of part of what we did was get our stuff shown, I've only really been in one big gallery show that was well, it was a solo show, but it wasn't. It was a collaboration with a designer who did, she painted on her clothes. She was man, now my brain's not going to work. She was a performance artist. And she would wear these plain stocking dresses or whatever, and then she would paint on herself as part of the performance. So then she became a fashion designer selling those designs. And we did a project together, and we did a studio gallery show. And honestly, the way that I got it, which is, just as photography works, the owner of the gallery saw one of my fashion editorials in a magazine and then reached out to me. And he was like, I want to do something that's got a artistic but fashion edge. What do you think? And then I made this proposal, and then we did this kind of body painty / clothes painty series, and it hung for a couple of weeks during the art, I forget what they call it, art something Miami, art blah blah. Anyone from Florida might know what I'm talking about. Art Basel, maybe it's called. And it was pretty awesome. I mean, it was, yeah, sold a few pieces. It was pretty cool. So what would I suggest? Well, I mean, I suggest the same thing to everybody all the time, and it seems, I mean, maybe I'll try to be more specific. If you are trying to get your work shown in a gallery and you don't have an agent or something, which is a whole other next level thing, What you're going to want to do is find make contact with people at galleries and show them your work. I mean, most places that will accept work, whether it be a gallery or a magazine or stock photo agencies or anybody that buys stuff or, sells them for you or whatever, will always have some kind of a method to reach out to them. So I recommend becoming kind of part of the scene of anything that you want to do. So if you want to show in galleries, then what you should do is become part of that gallery scene. Go to openings, meet people, become friendly. The other thing that you could do is submit to shows that have like open calls. And this is not something that I've ever done because I'm a little, part of me is like the ones where like you have to send a picture and like $25, and then they pick the ones they want. There's like a submission fee. But if you do have good work and you get in some of these group shows, you might get recognition that will then get you other shows. So, but my advice would be to get in with the people that are going to hire you, which would be the people in the art community. And assuming that you're shooting art and that you want to do shows, you probably like that stuff. So go to shows, meet people. Don't be shy about the fact that you're a photographer. I mean, don't shove it in people's faces, but talk to people, and find out, who's in charge of what, and just start talking to them. Is it freezing a lot or just a little bit? I see it freezing once in a while on mine. Yeah. Is the voice freezing too, or just the video? Yeah, and I hate to explain that because when I say body painting, most body painting is terrible. I'm sorry, people that do body painting, but it's just the worst. It's literally just something people do to be like, oh, naked people. This was like more. I wish I don't have anything readily to. No, I can't. I will try to do something about that. I'll go dig out some of the pictures. I'm not saying that my pictures are the best pictures in the world, but what she did was she incorporated the art of what she would do in her live presentations or her performance art into the painting on the bodies. That, in fact, the gallery show opened. At the opening party, she did a presentation. She did her performance art and painted on herself and all that stuff. So like you could see and kind of work with it. It wasn't just like, oh, look, it looks like they're wearing bathing suits, or oh, it's some weird thing. I mean, I've seen some amazing body paint. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's a lot of it's just really bad, in my opinion. Well, I guess that's true of everything, right? If you're going to buy, look at Puget Systems. They make custom editing machines. Oh, cool. They have sponsored some other chants. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I feel like I'm not a very good influencer because lots of you'd be surprised. I mean, maybe you wouldn't be. The sheer number of people that want to sponsor things, and unless I believe in it, But yeah, I mean, I would definitely take a free computer if it was good. So if you're out there watching, I'll check them out. 4K video editing, looking very costly. I don't know. I mean, I come from the Mac world, so nothing PC looks expensive to me. Like my I don't know, talking about something, like my laptop was like almost $4,000. So it's like, if a PC is like a couple grand, it's like that's nothing for me. I mean, it's not nothing. Obviously, money is money. I'm not like I'm rolling in cash, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's like I understand computers are expensive, but I don't want to actually work on a PC. Like I like my laptop. I want to use it for streaming because I'm basically doing a lot more streaming. The world, right, as it is for us, has changed a lot. I do a lot more live streaming than I ever did before, and I mean, I was already on that road, luckily, but as things are shifting, we've also got things going on with people, and actually, I'm going to do, let me dig out my notepad here. One of the things here is this is to inspire, make inspiration. I think I'm going to do a video about having the client off-site and using things like Capture One and Zoom to communicate with them while you're shooting. Actually had Paul, who we've had on the channel before. You guys love Paul. We were talking about that because he had to do that, and we basically I was working with him, to figure out how we could actually make that work. Using Capture One, using Zoom, so that your client doesn't have to physically be there. I mean, yeah, it's easy enough to just have a Dropbox setup. We've talked about that before, where they can literally just see the pictures appearing. But to have them with the camera almost like they're there, and also be like being able to see the pictures in Capture One, is such a cool experience, and it will keep the staff and the people that are on site much smaller and allow us to start working sooner. So I thought about doing that. I don't know how much that interests you guys, but I think that's on my list. So I'm going to put that down. We'll find out now if you guys are interested in that. Yeah, I think it just keeps freezing occasionally. So if it starts getting really bad. Oh, and live stream and a sighting. Yes, I did go on. Oh, I forgot to post on the Discord and say I was going to go live. Seth yells at me every time and he's like, why don't you put on the Discord that you're going live? I never think of it. But you know what I did, though? Watch this. So I've got my stream deck. This way I'll go on Discord. Look, there's a Discord icon. Right there. So hopefully I'll be on there more often, guys. I don't mean to ignore you. I just don't. I don't normally just join chat rooms to chat. I don't know why. It's just not a thing that I do. But maybe I'll start doing it. Freezing once in a while audio is good. Yeah, I also upped, by the way, because I was doing so well with this. I also upped my stream to full HD. I had been streaming the last couple times at just HD. So that could be why. Maybe I should go drop back down. Yeah, Art Basel. Yeah. What's the pick for me? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, exposure is exposure. I probably have had more actual. Well, I mean, I don't know. If you put something on a billboard, I mean, who knows how many people see it? It could be millions. I mean, in a magazine. I mean, I don't know. I can't really say what has had the most. Most of the work that I do isn't reused, though, so it's not like I have stuff that sits around for years and you just keep seeing it again, because it was fashion stuff, so it's like comes and goes. Yeah, I wouldn't know which one got seen the most. I mean, there's probably a lot of it that didn't get seen much at all. Oh, I should make the joke about it. So, I don't know if you guys are, anyways, in New York, or I know some of you guys are. So, is it Dan Smith? Dan Smith will teach you guitar. So that guy, this is a guy, Dan Smith, he's super nice. And he teaches guitar. And I photographed him like, oh God, I can't remember when it was, but I swear he used that shot. And anywhere you go in New York, you see these flyers. He used that shot for years and years and years. And then one time I was like, man, he's still using my shot. And I walked up and I looked and it had a different photo credit on it. And then I'm really staring and I'm like, no, that's not the exact shot I made. He literally then hired somebody that made almost the exact same shot of him. So maybe the Dan Smith will teach you guitar is my most famous. Oh my God, John Smith. Dan Smith, right? I think if you Google him, actually there's been like parodies on YouTube. And this is a pretty big... Okay, I think I'm losing track of the chat here. I need to make this bigger because my blindness. Oh, for you as both, and then your refreshing is better for the audio and video. Okay, thanks, Nicole. Oh yeah, there is that body painting thing in New York where people run around. Again, I feel like a lot of the I mean, I don't want to judge photographers. Yeah, a little bit I do. Like, I feel like a lot of photographers that go to that just want to see a bunch of naked people running around. Then, of course, it's just like going to a nude beach. What you realize when you show up there is it's mostly middle-aged dudes. So, let's see. Nice. Cosplay body painting. Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, some of it's awesome. I don't want to say it's not. It's like everything. There's a whole bunch of junk, and then there's good stuff. Everything, yeah, great photos. This is true. Well, I think, though, see, the thing about that, though, is when I say that they're crap with the body painting, they're not crap because the people aren't skilled or aren't talented. It's that the intention behind the photos is not to make a good photo. And I think that's really important. That's actually a very, I'm going to totally sneeze. And I forgot to put my mute audio on this. Let's see if I can mute myself before I sneeze. All right, I didn't sneeze. So you can actually put the audio mute thing on this. I'll have to do that, actually. I didn't think I'd need it, but it's the intent behind it, right? Like if you're going into something and you're trying to create a beautiful photo that's going to be or a terrible photo, you know, the one that's going to show emotion, that's going to have a point, that you really have a thing you're trying to say with it, then, and you don't accomplish that, and the photo you take is less than perfect, I'm not going to ever put you down for that, right? It's the people that, and I hate to say wrong reason, because, you know, I try to give everybody the chance, but it's clear that they don't care about photography as an art or a medium. They're just there for the thing. You know, they're there at the body painting thing, not because they are about this, getting this art of these people or see how the painting's done. They're there because there's naked people, and it's something that they, you know, it's almost like going to the freak show on Coney Island. You know, it's like you're just there to see something interesting, and like you don't really care. The camera's just it's your ticket to get into it, and that's the stuff when I say it's junk. That's what I'm talking about when I say that. So I guess I should clarify. A D&D chat room. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. They use Windows for video. That actually makes sense. I'm pretty sure that Avid was like a primarily Windows machine, Windows thing for a while. Well, I think that was in reply to Final Cut. This is back before they went to Final Cut 10, of course. Let's see. That's great to hear. Same ideas. Screen share. Okay, good. So I'm really about it. When am I going to come to Italy? I mean, listen. there are people that are in terrible situations. You know, that people have died. People are lost their jobs. So I cannot complain. But I will tell you that my schedule this year had 2 trips to Europe and 3 trips all over the U.S. This year I was gonna travel a lot. I had all kinds of stuff planned, all of it canceled. So yes, I will come to Italy, and I plan on coming to Europe. I have in Germany, especially because I have a friend there. That's the first place I'll be. But I will make a trip to Italy. I have not been there in a long time. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, okay, good. Don't worry about the PC building. It's pretty straightforward. Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess, right. It's not the actual sticking the PC together. I think that makes me nervous. It's more the I don't know what pieces I need kind of thing. But that doesn't really, because I mean, back in the day, you know, back before Macs, before Apple made Macs unupgradable, you know, I always pulled my Macs apart and added RAM, switched hard drives, and put in, you know, video cards, and, you know, so it's not, yeah. I just don't, I have no idea. I mean, I have not bought a computer like, look, so the last 3 or 4 computers I bought, my guy John at Adorama, if you need a computer, go to John. He's amazing. I'm just like, John, this is what I need to do. What should I get? And then he'll be like, you should get this. And then I'll be like, there's nothing cheaper. And then he just looks at me like this. And then I buy what he says, because he's always right. Paintings on canvas. Yeah, me too. About Lowell products. Okay. I'll bring coffee button. I agree with a lot of, yeah. And you should know. I mean, I guess because you see me on Adorama, I mean, I have no problem with nudity or any of that stuff. I'm actually very, very liberal. I just think that people like that can hurt. Okay, so I'll give a quick little story. So this is years ago, before, when I was just shooting commercially, and I had a friend of mine, and we were like, oh, we should teach photo workshops, because we saw these photo workshops that were going on, and it was literally like, you know, dudes pointing cameras at naked girls. Like, you'd see the pictures pop up, and you'd be like, these are terrible. Like, we should do a photo workshop and teach people. So we got a great location. And then, of course, we realized, we were like, well, listen, every photo workshop is that people want to go to. We looked, we did our research. They want to do some like fine art and nude stuff. So I'm like, good, we'll do that, but we'll do it super classy and we'll show them how to really light it and make it really interesting and black and white and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be black and white, but you know what I'm saying. Then, so we had two models because not everybody's interested in that. So we had a fine art nude model and then we had a model that was a fashion model. 99% of the dudes tried to get the fashion model naked the entire session. Like, there's literally a nude model right there, but they were over at that model going, show a little bit more skin. And that turned me off from doing any kind of workshops for the longest time. And I think that a bad experience will turn you off. And that's why I'm adamant about people that are like creepy. That's why I kind of come down on them, because they ruin it for people. They really do. The top end Wacom tablet's running Windows 10. Oh, that's interesting. HP microcomputer. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's what I was looking at first. Oh, used, yeah. I mean, I actually watched a video where they found like a computer for like $50 from a college and just upgraded a couple of pieces and was able to do it. And they were streaming games. I mean, so it should be harder to stream, I would imagine. But I also feel like I'm the kind of guy that would rather spend a little bit more and make sure that I have what I need. Because I've bought way too much cheap stuff in my time. If you do go to Germany, take a trip over to the Czech Republic. Oh, yeah. I would love to go to Prague. Oh, man. This is, like I said, I was planning on, actually, I would be there right now. I was planning to spend the summer in Europe. Hopefully next year, you know? If they let us in next year, I'll come. For the Fonakina, yeah. Yeah, Macs are just not upgradable anymore. It's yeah. It's a pity in a lot of ways. Stop spamming. I don't know what that means. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's see. That is probably true. I have an automated moderator, so if people are getting kind of stopped for not accurate things, I apologize. I'm trying to see how this works. Right, deciphering the case plugs. Yeah, that's exactly the part that makes me a little bit. Oh, hi from Munich. Okay, so Lowell, right? We were on talking about Lowell. I have not actually bought any new Lowell lighting in forever. Let's go to Lowell right now and see what they have to offer. You know, Lowell is one of the very early lighting companies, right? They got bought by Tiffin. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if they even still exist. Let's take a peek. All right, guys, let's take a look at Lowell. Hopefully this doesn't. Oh, I can do my little thingy here. Let's go to my thing. Lowell. If I switch here, yeah, there we go. So, so the thing about Lowell lighting is that I always would tell people that Lowell, this is a constant lighting company. Lowell is the entry level into. Oh, it got a little do again. I wonder if it's when I'm surfing the web. I guess it's just putting strain on it. Lowell is the what I would call the entry level into professional. And what I mean by professional, like when I'm talking about professional for lighting, what I mean is that it will last, it can be repaired, it is consistent. So, are Lowell lights the best lights in the world? No, but I can tell you that I've met people with 30-year-old Lowell lights that have just had them fixed for 20 or 30 bucks and they were 100% good again. So that's the kind of thing, right? That's what makes something professional. So it comes down to like, I'm going to buy this. What is your ultimate goal, right? Is the goal to just get some shots of something and then whatever, you don't care about the lights? Is the goal, or is the goal to build a kit that you're going to have and keep? So they've mostly switched to LED lights, I guess, as far as what they're distributing. I don't know much about the LED lights, so I'm not going to talk about those. but they're tungsten kits. And by the way, guys, I don't know. I mean, I'm quite sure. Okay, I guess the website doesn't want to work. Ooh. Oh, I see what happens. I mean, not that you shouldn't immediately go to Adorama and buy these brand new, but I would look for used stuff. Actually, even at Adorama. Like I just said, this stuff lasts forever. The Rifa is their softbox, really punchy, gives you a lot of light for what it is. But these, to me, these two lights actually are probably the for if you're going to use them for filmmaking, these are probably two of the better lights. You got the total light, which is kind of throws light everywhere, and you got the Omni, which is kind of a focused light. If you're going for something smaller, you got your Pro lights, which are the ones that I typically use. The Omni is about 500 watts, and you can focus it down really tightly. When I say really tightly, it's all relative. It's not like a data light. The Toda, which is less expensive, is 750 watts. It is not as bright generally because it's throwing the light everywhere. What you do with the Toda light is you bounce it off the ceiling, right? Or you shoot it through an umbrella. You're using it just to spread the light, right? That's what it's for. What you do with an Omni is you use it for something where you're going to punch light through something because it's focusable. You can get a nice hard light with barn doors. Can you put an umbrella on an Omni? Sure. But if I had a choice, and that's what I was going to use it for, the Toda is cheaper and does it better, right? Let's see if we click on this, we can actually see something. Ireland. Hey. Let's see. Let's see. I'm good, Rick. Thanks. Southern Maryland. Any chance to do a new video with Joe like the diner shot? I would love to do another video with Joe. We just have to arrange it. I love working with Joe. He's pretty awesome. Do you have Discord open in another tab? That is the sound. The sound. I didn't know you guys could hear anything. Nope. Sorry to leave. That's okay. Okay. Thanks for joining. I mean, this was very impromptu. Oh yeah, I do. There is actually a video of me doing that. Yeah. Oh, good. The bot worked. So, yeah, that was a very short-lived channel. So here's your Toda. Now, what I want to quickly do here, and this is the reason why I'm doing this, is if we go here. Oh, they don't have photometrics on here anymore? Oh, come on, Lowell. Well, Lowell got bought by Tiffin. And I gotta say, I mean, no offense to Tiffin, but Tiffin blew it. You know, it's like they don't give Lowell enough love. And it looks like they redid the website, and it looks pretty crappy, actually. They used to give photometrics. So your photometrics are going to tell you, like, actually how bright your lights are. And I think that's super important. So when you're buying any kind of constant lights, that's super important. I mean, you could ask me, and I will just tell you, 750 is less bright than 500 in this case with the Omni. That's not always the case, right? It's brighter than the 250 of the Pro, although not much brighter. So yeah, that's Lowell. Lowell in a nutshell. If you can find Lowell lights used, oh, here's the other cool thing about Lowell lights, which may or may not be relevant. The fixtures themselves are capable of running on 220 or 240 volts, meaning that all you have to do is switch the bulbs and the cord or the plug, and you can run them anywhere in the world, basically, which is super useful if you're traveling. Also, some of the lights, like the Pro light, for instance, I believe also the DP, can be run off battery by switching to either a 12 volt or I think a 30 volt bulb. So super useful for there. So yeah, Lowell. I think Lowell's great. Their LED lights, I do not know. I have not used them. I would be a little bit nervous with LED lights that are in the less expensive range. I know we had the conversation before. Typically, the color's not as good. So I would probably say, you know, I actually have a really big old school Lowell LED that was very expensive. It was okay for its day, but it's, well, but they're these like, oh, actually this one here, the Pro LED, I actually tested this when it first came out. Oh, I forgot about that. Um, it's all right. It's not the best light I've ever used in my life. I mean, I think it's pretty good. It wouldn't be the first LED light I'd buy, especially depending on how much it costs. Oh, actually, you're not looking at me because I didn't search it. Oh, this page can't be found. That's never a good sign. um, yeah, actually I gave this to Marissa. they they knew I used Lowell lights, so they sent me one. They're like, "We'll send you this if you'll write us a." They didn't even want me to do anything publicly. They just said, "If you could tell us what you think of it." And what I thought of it was pretty good. It wasn't a terrible light. Um, it had decent color, and it focuses down pretty good. But in almost every case, I would still go with the tungsten light. Above that. That's just my personal opinion, because I think the tungsten lights are just superior for most people for the cost. Smoke all the other good. Strand theater lights. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. See, the thing is that like, so theater lighting is a little different, like par lights and stuff. That's also another way that you can get into lights relatively cheap if you're willing to like manipulate them. Is that you could get like some used theater lights from like an old theater that's switching to LED lights. These par lights are great. They're powerful. They're just they're not the easiest thing in the world to work around. But if you can get them really cheap, I'm still a tungsten person. I mean, I'll tell you right now that I think that in most, I mean, it's going to get harder to get the bulbs eventually. But I think that in a lot of times they're still worthwhile for the money. For what they cost you, you're going to get a lot out of them. So that's that. Would you be interested for one of your streams pretending to be an art director as I'm doing a portrait? Oh, I don't know. I'm not really an art director. I mean, that's not true. I'm more of a creative director than an art director, which is, which I guess is a fine line. I mean, maybe I won't. I'm not completely. I never say no to anything, but send me a DM. We'll figure it out. Oh, profiles are Fresnels. Oh, that's good. Oh well, Fresnels are great. Or Fresnel if you want to say that. Yeah, those are fantastic. Because then you can focus them down. Nice, neat light on them. But theater lights are great. We also a lot of people will buy the Source 4 lights, which are primarily made for theater, because they've got cool focusing attachments for them. So you throw it into your kit. Strand pattern 23. All right, let's take a look. Oh, I can see why you call it that. Yeah. Those are pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of vintage lights. Like I just think, I mean, I don't know if this is like some lights that you get now. I mean, this might still be. I mean, it looks like they turned it into something there. I mean, people might still use them, but some of these like older light styles are so cool. There we go. Let's see. We'll go to there. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so neat. Oh, very cool. Very cool. I will save this page so that I can come back and look at it, because that's very neat. I love me some old lights. I think it's just neat, to think about how people thought about lights. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean the creative director is better than an art director. I mean a creative director is different than an art director. Art directors are general. So I will, for those who may not know or maybe don't understand what I'm saying. So a creative director is generally, I mean, in the ranks they are ranked hard, but they're generally like a big picture creative, uh, locking things together, making sure that everybody's on the same page, and stylistically they're working together. That's really what a creative director does. An art director is more like on the set at the time, being like, I mean, art directors also do that too, but just for what you're talking about, an art director is more like, oh, that looks good, but can you move the product to the left more? That's more like an art director to me, um, and that's not really what I specialize in. So that's why I say that. Um, but that's pretty good. Yes, I know. I was gonna go to Gen Con too and run some games. Maybe next year will be Gen Con. I mean, to be honest, I prefer Gary Con. I like a smaller con, but Gen Con, I mean, how do you not go to Gen Con? Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can put in LEDs. And Morrison was doing that too for a while, where they retrofit the lights with LEDs. Oh, all right. Thanks for coming, Nicole. Oh man, you're making me hungry now. Um, yeah. So we didn't actually do the thing I was going to do, but well, we can still do it. We've only been streaming for a few minutes here. Um, guys, give me a second. I'll be right back. Stand by. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna be on my break screen. Watch this. Okay, I'm back. That was just a. I decided to turn the air conditioner on. Everybody's talking about how hot it is. I put the AC on because now with these extra lights in here, this room's getting hot. I guess it'll be good in the winter. Um, do you ever try running mains powered studio light off a battery using a DC power converter? Um, yes, a couple of different ways. So, okay, so first of all, when I first started using studio lights, there weren't that many battery powered big studio lights. So that was, there was lots of different things. I used to have this converter for my car that you would plug the into your cigarette lighter, and I would think it was like a 400-watt converter, and we could run like small packs off it. I used to have this Novotron pack, and I've run it off it before. It's slow, and I think the color ends up not being so consistent. Um, they then which is not actually either or, but a lot of times we use generators back in the day. Like generators were the way to go. Um, they're heavy. They can be noisy, but and also you can blow packs up if they fluctuate. But most people went with generators, so it's possible. Then you've got things like that Alien B Vagabond, the original one. I don't know if they're still like that. That was basically a pack that you could plug anything into. And I had an Alien B for a minute, and it was terrible, and that's the reason why I hate Alien Bs. Um, and then when I sold the Alien B, I kept the Vagabond thinking, oh, I could probably use this for something else, and I did plug my Profoto Acute back into it a couple times. Yeah, it's not ideal, but if that's all you got, I mean, I think that light's so cheap now that I can't imagine like doing that. Like I feel like now, unless you have access to it very inexpensively or somebody's giving it to you, it's probably cheaper just to buy a battery powered light. It's and throw it in your kit. It used to be you could only get like the Hensel 40, which was like $2,500. Now you can buy like Adorama's got the Flashpoint line that everybody loves. Those are like $600-700. Because I don't know how much battery cost. Let's see. Come to Gen Con. Oh, oh, really? Oh, you're from Annapolis? It's very cool. I like how the whole city is on like a big circle. Um, you burnt yourself too many times. That's why you need gloves. Uh, oh man, you set a stage curtain on fire? Wow. Well, yeah, you definitely need to change the diffusion paper. I mean, that's the case even for strobes if you shoot them. Well, that's why you need which is, people that use a lot of hot lights, there's actually a gel that I forget what it's called now. I'd have to look it up. Let me see if I can find it. It's actually made to make your gels last longer. It's like a light shield gel. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if Daniel can find it. Let me test my Google skills here. I believe Roscoe makes it. Roscoe light shield. I'm going to type in and see if that works. Nope. Maybe that's it. Image not available. Yeah. So superheat shield, right? You get this. It's basically clear, and it deflects the heat basically. It's expensive. So I think in theater, right, it's not worth it because you got a million lights that you're changing all the time. But if you're like a photographer and you use like 3 hot lights, it might be worth investing in it. It's not cheap. But if you go through tons of gels and you don't have that many lights that you need to gel, this might work for you. Huh. Oh my god, you melted the rubber parts. So that's actually really funny. Yeah, you got to be careful with the lights and use them correctly. That's for sure. I don't know why they have rubber parts, anyways. Yep. Hey, Andres. Could be a fixer. Nice. No more 60 millimeter. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have the resources, so if you're a photographer or that's your plan, hot lights are not the first thing I would buy. I'm not by any means saying that's the case. I would buy flash. I mean, flash is going to be ultimately a better option if you're doing photography, in my opinion. Is it harder to learn with? A little bit, yeah. So many more units have TTL now. There's lots of battery powered options. There's radios are cheap. So to me, if you're going to do photography, you probably want to invest in flash. If you really want to use constant light sources and you have a lower budget, then I would go with tungsten. If you've got a decent budget, then you could get some good LED lights because there are good LED lights. There's lots of good LED lights nowadays. There used to be very few. Now there's lots of them, but the ones that are super inexpensive are not that good. They're either not so powerful, which was one thing, or they have terrible color, or they have terrible color once you've been running them for a while, because that's the other thing, right? It's like people will buy these lights and they'll be like, no, I did a meter and it's perfect. Yeah, run that light for 4 hours. They start to shift because they get hot. When lights get hot, well, LEDs especially, they shift in color. So unless it's got really good cooling, LEDs can be really tricky unless you get good ones. But I mean, I have great LED. Like I have my data LEDs, fantastic. Some of the Westcott ones are pretty good. This Felix one's okay. It doesn't have the best color in the world, but it's consistent. So like you don't see me going, purple or green over the course of the stream. It's always kind of right to where it was. So, which is good. As long as lights are consistent, that's another thing that falls into the professional thing, right? If your lights are consistently this, green or whatever, then you can white balance it away or filter it away. It's when they're all over the place that's a problem. So that's what I would say about that. But yeah, that's basically, that's in a nutshell. This would have been a different. I would have had a different opinion maybe 5 years ago because flash was really expensive, and you kind of needed a light meter. There wasn't that many things that did TTL except for small flashes on camera. So it was kind of like, what do I do? I don't really understand lighting. I'm nervous to learn. Get yourself a Total light from Lowell. Like, those were the lights I would recommend to everybody. For like $200, you could get a light, a stand, an umbrella. You could see it. It made life so much easier for people. But nowadays, I think that using flash with TTL is actually probably your best bet. Video quality looks a lot better. That's interesting. I did actually. Huh. Well, I mean, I went to full HD, but I don't think that should make a difference, unless you're watching it in full HD if you have a full screen. Yeah, I mean, the abundance of good flashes out there, it's crazy. I mean, you'll see me sometimes criticize like inexpensive stuff, but I'm not really criticizing them as a product. I'm criticizing that they say that they're more than they are. You know, if you understand when you're buying something that it is inexpensive and it's not going to be consistent necessarily, it's not going to last forever, go for it. It's the guys that say it's the same as the expensive stuff and you're getting ripped off that I think they're just yeah yeah they're just blowing smoke. Yeah, I wonder. I guess the 1080 makes a difference. I mean, I wouldn't think it would unless you had it blown up, but hey, you know what? Look at that. I still don't know. I think I have a feeling that this. I think the way that my laptop allocates resources is a little bit weird, and the fact that I have this Stream Deck plugged in, I think might be part of the reason why I'm freezing. But I don't want to unplug it because. So we'll see. I may actually see what happens next time on YouTube not using it. See, because the last time I streamed on YouTube on my other channel, it didn't freeze at all as far as I could tell, and it didn't have the Stream Deck. Uh-oh. Oh man, your alarm clock's ringing. All right. Good night, or go to work, or whatever. Few drop frames too. I think it may be a YouTube thing. I mean, to be honest, YouTube versus Twitch for this particular system I've set up. I mean, who knows? I can't really say. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I always say you're much better off shooting than not. So, I mean, don't feel like anytime that and also, who the hell am I? It's like if somebody's telling you that you need to buy something that you don't think you need, then don't get it. I mean, not that I'm ever telling you to buy anything, but it is what it is. I just, you wouldn't believe the number of DMs I get that just attack me and tell me that, that I'm lying to people, and I don't know what to say. Yes, that's the truth. If I had infinite money, I would have Broncolor as well. Broncolor is so nice. I mean, I was a Broncolor guy for a little while, and it was so nice. Um, oh yeah, so good. Where I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit, sorry Broncolor, is that they haven't really got a good comparable battery solution as far as I can tell. I haven't looked at what they've got lately, but like Profoto, man, when they made that B1X, they really, or the B1, I guess it was. Let's look at Broncolor for a second. Let's see what they're producing these days. I haven't talked to them in a while. Um, let's go to Broncolor. Let's see. New window. You do love us some Broncolor. I've been obsessed with the Bronze Age, so that's coming up now. Let's see. Broncolor Swiss, Broncolor USA. Here we go. We'll go to this one because that'll probably work better for me. Oh, yes. Let's see. Wow, look at that. All right. Blog, product info. let's see, products. Opti videos, FAQ. Where do you buy stuff? Gear sale. Oh man. Oh, that's just what's on sale. Let's go back. Am I somehow like, that's their LED, which I don't really care about. Where are the lights? I clearly have no clue how to manipulate, how to work a, right? Gear. Oh, here we go. Alrighty, let's see. These are the power packs, right? The move pack is friggin' amazing. That's their battery powered option. Do they have a? No, both of these are not battery powered, right? Yeah. Yeah, they got to come out with a battery powered mono. That's what everybody wants. Well, not everybody. I think everybody wants it, but not everybody needs it. You know, you think about battery power, as I used to always say, it's like having a pet. You know, it's like when you are using, or when you have a battery powered light, you got to take care of it. You know, you got to charge it. You got to make sure that you know, it's just something you got to be wary of. It's like if you never need the battery power, it's silly to buy battery powered lights. But I know that's what people really want. But this move pack is what I had for a while. It was so nice. So nice. Oh, yeah, let's look at it. Yeah, these are great. But yeah, they haven't come out with anything new really to compete with that Pro Photo stuff, unfortunately. And it just happened to be that I had kind of moved on from the stuff I was using, and I was switched to mostly hot lights, to Dado. And so I'd sold all my strobe stuff. And then when I got back into buying strobe stuff again, Pro Photo just had the B1, and I was like, actually, I remember Cliff came in. We talk about Cliff a lot. And he was like, I have this light I'm going to show it to you. He's like, it has TTL. And I looked at him and I was like, TTL in a professional strobe? What are you, crazy? And then he showed it to me. And it was awesome. I mean, I was like, wow, okay. Yeah, that's pretty nice, Cliff. And then I bought it. Oh, yeah, you can't post a link, yeah. Yep. It's very funny, right? Because, like, I think every time Pro Photo comes out with something now, they're like, world changing or, you know, game changing. It's like, no, that's not. The B1, that was game changing. That really did change, like, how we operated. People didn't think to have that. I mean, a battery powered monolight, and also relatively inexpensive when it comes down to it. It was crazy. And, of course, TTL. Oh, yes. The scorers are, oh, God, so good. Yeah, if you really, really, really want to stop stuff, you want that really good flash duration, these scorer packs are just crazy. And you can also tweak the white balance slightly because, you know, they're just crazy. Like, they're nuts. But these are very expensive. I mean, this is definitely not stuff that, yeah. So your 1600 watt second, you're looking at almost 9,000 euro for the pack. It's not for everyone. That is for damn sure. But man, are they nice. Actually, to me, even though they kind of show a lot of fashion and stuff, I find the brown color is much more often used by product photographers. Because they're the ones who tend to need that real stopping stuff. And also they need that, like, a lot of power. You know, because they're shooting stuff close up. So, people that I know, you know, clearly, obviously, they have. Oh, you're not looking at my screen. Once again, I did that. I need to move these two, I think. Yeah, like, look at that. That's crazy. Oh, man. This stuff is so nice. I should call Brown Color and see if they'll let me borrow one. I mean, the way it freezes everything. Oh, God. The Cirrus is the Cirrus is battery powered? Which one? The S? I did not realize that. See, there you go. They really should. doesn't say it's battery powered. It says abundant power. Oh, mains cable. Was it the S that's battery powered? Man, I'm gonna have to call Broncolor and be like, guys, you gotta put this on your site if it's battery powered. Yeah, these same mains. Huh. I don't know why. Maybe they're in a different category. Lights. Monolights. If you're interested, if you guys are interested in seeing some of the Broncolor stuff go, I can actually call them up and see if they'll load me some. Because it's pretty impressive. I mean, again, it's not for everyone. But wow. Studio. Battery powered, here we go. So yeah, indeed. Let's check this bad boy out. Maybe you'll convert me. Oh, they're so nice. Oh, that's not bad. Couple grand. Okay, maybe we're gonna try these. Don't tell Cliff I just said that. Yeah, it looks like there's a battery powered version of it. The L, it looks like. Oh, thanks, Phil. Yeah, you gotta use a lot. Product photography requires a lot of power. Because you gotta consider that the closer you are to something, yeah, okay. We're gonna have to move this over here next time so I can actually see myself. The closer you are to something, the more shallow the depth of field will be. So if you're shooting product, which is generally small, you're very close to it, so your depth of field is very shallow. And while we all love those like cool shots of like just the corner of it in focus and the rest of it's out, generally for commercial product photography, they want to see their product in focus. So, you gotta have that depth of field. Let's see. I mean, the other option too is that you can back up, back up and crop. That's why I always say with product photography, you want to have more megapixels. When I used to do more jewelry, we would always shoot on phase 1 backs. I mean, now that doesn't seem very big anymore because they have 100 megapixel backs, but they were like 50 megapixels. And basically, you wouldn't get right up on the ring with the macro. You'd go back, and you'd still be able to get a huge file. Like you'd be shooting like a corner of it. You'd get a 25 megapixel file, because remember, you got to. That's how I explain things. Like if your shot is this and it's 50 megapixels, like a quarter of it is 25, right? Because it's basically, if you do the math. But anyways, you have to double in order to double. So what was I saying there? So you'd still get a huge file, People would go in and shoot this stuff with like DSLRs with XR like 20 megapixels, and everything would be super shallow depth of field, and I'd be able to shoot medium format and get everything in focus. And they're like, I don't understand how you're doing that with medium format. Doesn't medium format have less depth of field? Well, kind of. It's like you got to know how to do it. Yeah. Let me see. I gotta go. Yeah, there's like a. I doubt it's open now. Though I'll reach out to Dan, see if we can get some Broncolor to come in. Let's see. Yeah. The Profoto D2 is also pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, Profoto is great as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Profoto. That's what I use primarily. There's just something about these Broncolor lights that are just something about that. Yeah. If you use them, like it's there. There's something really special about them. They're just great. but also the accessories are crazy expensive. And hopefully Broncolor's not listening. I would never buy their softboxes. Like, why? Like Shimura makes as good, if not better, and cheaper. So I wouldn't do that. Paras are amazing. Their reflectors are amazing. I wouldn't buy. I mean, I did get the OCF softboxes. They're pretty good, but yeah, I buy Shimura makes much better softboxes than anybody else. Anybody else? Well, that's not true. Plume makes amazing softboxes, but try getting a Plume softbox. You have to like climb to the top of a mountain in Colorado, and there's like one guy there like sewing them by hand. Where does Elinchrom fit in? Elinchrom is like good, decent, consistent lighting. They kind of lost their footing a bit, unfortunately, and that's unfortunate because they are pretty decent. They were smart in a way because they had come out with this thing called the D light, like maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, where you were able to kind of buy this like inexpensive Elinchrom light that they were manufacturing them in India to get the price down, and now I think they manufacture all this stuff all over the world. But at the time, the Elinchrom was Swiss made, Swiss made, except for the D light. Like it was inexpensive, and you could buy this D light and get into the system, because it still had the same kind of quality of light. It was just plasticky. It wasn't meant to last forever. If you tried to shoot 8 hours a day with it, it would shut down on you because it wasn't meant for that. And they were super honest about it. They were like, "This is an entry into the system. It's for you to grow with." And they were doing great for a while, and then it seems like they just didn't have enough push on their high end stuff. And then their battery stuff was okay. They had that Quadra, which was interesting, but then they kind of didn't. I think Profoto just kind of like went past them on the battery stuff, and they staggered back a bit. And then the D lights, I don't know. They started like coming out with different versions of them. All in all, Elinchром's decent. It's a good product. When I set up like going to be almost 2 years ago now, I had set up a product studio, and I talk about this a bunch because it was a good kind of process for this company, and we went Elinchrom because Elinchrom is consistent. It's a workhorse. It's clean. It's not necessarily as robust in my opinion as like Profoto. Nor does it have some of the cool light shapers that Profoto and Broadcolor have that are specific to them, but it has some good light shapers. And if you're going to throw softboxes on them and you just want good, clean light, Elinchrom is very good. They actually have a great Rotolux system, so their softboxes are really good. But their hard reflectors are not my favorite. That's my favorite feeling there. They're good, though. I mean, I'd buy Elinchrom. Yeah, so why do they charge more? This is actually a very good question. We're talking about Broncolor in particular. And I think the reason for that is when you start to think about a piece of photo equipment, not as in I'm making this pretty shot of this girl or shooting this one product right now, what am I getting? What's the difference? And you more start thinking about it in like longevity and overall cost over time. Broncolor has unquestionably the most consistent flash tubes, and they are rated way higher than other companies, and you can beat the crap out of them much more than you can other companies and still get consistent results. That's what you're paying for. So Joe, portrait photographer that's just taking a beautiful shot, will you notice that much of a difference? Probably not. It's probably not for you. The monolights are interesting though because they're getting like less expensive. But like these squirrel packs, they're basically these like who uses them? Places like Disneyland. Like, and you're gonna be like, what? That's a terrible picture that they take of people who are on like going like down the roller coaster rides. In the U.S. we have like Six Flags. I don't know. I'm sure they have amusement parks all over the world. Those are some of their bigger customers because you can put a Broncolor flash there, and this thing will be it'll be $20,000, but it's going to fire every time, and it's going to fire 500, 600, 700 times an hour, right? And it's not going to have a problem freezing the action. being consistent. And those crappy pictures of people with their arms up going down the roller coaster that are terrible photos are probably prawn color. You know, I mean, that's just one of the things they sell for. Like, that's what makes it worthwhile. You know, for an average portrait, it's nice, it's good. It's probably better, but maybe not better that you would notice it, you know, for the average person. And that's where Elinchrom falls. Like, if you got an Elinchrom, you got a pro photo, you got a Broncolor, and you just did a standard portrait session, I don't think you'd really notice the difference in the images, you know, as far as like quality. They'd look different, but they would have the same quality. So that's my thought there. Yeah. Yeah, the D2 is good. I saw that. Yeah, Elinchrom is great. Yeah, B10s are good. You know, I definitely like the B10. I think it's an interesting flash. What mount are Broncolor? They are Broncolor mount. Yeah, yeah. The para, the Broncolor para is such a unique thing that, I mean, other people have done stuff like this, but it's such a special thing. But you don't need to have a Broncolor to have it, because they do work with other companies. It creates this light that is like soft but directional and just punchy and clean. It's just, but again, would most people notice the difference? Maybe not. You know, I mean, yeah, Calumet. Yeah, they were Bowens. Yeah, Bowens, right? Calumet was probably one of the better of the house brands back in the day. Let's see. Yeah, because Calumet was like up and down. You know, like they like, I think they brought back one store, but I think they might be gone again. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Please like and subscribe. I should have a little thing pop up. What do I think of Godok's Flashpoint Pro line? Worth it for the hobbyist? Yeah, I think so. I think that I mean, I have not used it extensively, but the people that use it are happy with it. You know, I think that it's a good product. I have one of those 300s that just came out that looks like the Profoto B10. They gave me one and I made a video, but I don't think they ever used it. I don't know what happened. Maybe it'll come out eventually. They're very slow in releasing things. It has multi-pop, which I thought was really cool. So if you're interested in that. So yeah, Godok's fun. School days. Yeah. Norman, Dynalite, Hensel, yeah, those are all great. Has Provo gone after Godox for cloning their products? I don't know. I don't really follow that stuff. I think it's really hard to do, unfortunately, and I guess just from like an ethical standpoint, personally, I try to stay away from things that are clearly knockoffs when I can, because I think that you have to understand that companies pay engineers to create unique and interesting products. This is not just for lighting. And if you look at it and go, oh man, that's $100, I really want it, then you're like, oh, but this knockoff over here is only $20, I'm just going to buy that. Companies will stop doing that. Like, you'll have a lowering of quality because people aren't going to buy the new innovative stuff because they can get the knockoff. Because the companies that are knocking stuff off aren't creating new innovative stuff. At least they haven't been. So, you know, like I think that's kind of my thought on that. You know, take it as you will. That's just how I am. Oh my god, I got electrocuted by Norman so many times. But they were beasts, you know. I mean, AD 200, is that the one that looks like an electric razor? Actually, it's not unique. The switching of the heads, which I think is what you're talking about there, Sunpack had that. Sunpack 660, I think it was called. And in fact, Sunpack had an infrared head. This is something that I always wanted. Actually, let me try to find it. Hold on. I'm going to test Daniel's mind. It's funny that I remembered those things. I think it's called 660. Here we go, infrared. Nope. 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 Unfortunately, Sunpack got bought up by, you know, some bank or something, and now they make Sunpack whatever. Oh, here it is, 622. That's it. Nope. Flashpoint thing came up. Oh, well, I'm not allowed to go to B&H. Oh, Fred Moran. Wow, I didn't know these formers were still around. Oh, well, it's 4 years ago. Yep, that's the guy. So this flash system here, am I showing you my screen? Yeah. This flash system here, the head would come off. I think it came off here, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, you could put this infrared head on there. And then, of course, you would shoot infrared film, or in the case of these days, right, you could get your camera modded for infrared. And when the flash fired, you didn't see anything because it was infrared, so you could use it in the dark. So neat. I always wanted one of these. So cool. So cool, right? And there you go. If you look up 622, you'll see that they have the round disc head. They've got it's basically the same thing. I mean, it's not the same shape, clearly. This doesn't look like an electric razor. But so yeah, that's not innovative. It's something that's been done. In fact, they may have even bought the technology from them. Who knows? Who knows? Yep, Sunpack kind of did Quantum 1 better by coming out with a 620, maybe it was called. They had the same similar number. It looked like a Quantum flash, but it took double A's. Because Quantum flashes, which all the wedding photographers were using, they used like only a Quantum battery pack, which of course made them shoot faster, but they were more expensive and they were big and clunky. So Sunpack came out with this one that was like a you could put double A's in it, and people loved it because it was so small, and they would use it. So funny to say this, they would use it on their 35mm cameras because of course they were using the big Quantum on their medium format, and because they could shoot like 35mm was all for like the quick grab shots. And the thing about those flashes, the reason why you want that parabolic removable head is because it vents the heat from the flash. If you have like a regular flash, like let's say like a Canon 6 whatever blah blah it's called, a Nikon 5000 or whatever, and you start banging boom 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 with the Quantum battery, you can melt the flash because it's self-contained, which is actually the same thing that could happen on that 8200 if you put the head that looks like a razor on, because there's a little parabolic reflector in there and it's just like pumping out light and it will melt. So the Quantum was great because you could shoot all day long full power and it would spread the light out, so it wasn't so hot. It didn't have as much power, of course, especially when zoomed. Yeah, no, the 622 that had changed. Yeah. Actually, I was talking to Dado about that. So Dado is again innovative, and he actually even said he's like, I'm not going to bother suing people anymore because you can't win. He's just going to do what he's going to do, and he doesn't have a choice, because he spends so much money suing people, and you don't really benefit from it. It's like they still do it anyways, so it's unfortunate. Yeah, right. And also, right, Sunpack also had the thyrus, which was the bottom part that changed. So, like, in fact, I still have my Sunpack flash. I'll have to bust it out. My very first one was my father gave it to me. It had a Konica adapter on the bottom because he had a Konica. And I pulled that off and I put one on for my Pentax. And then I switched it to a neutral one that didn't have any kind of TTL when I switched to Canon. And then eventually I got a Canon one. So, like, you could just switch the bottom of the flash and it would be TTL or automatic or whatever it was with whatever flash it had. Yeah, well, you can do infrared with digital. Actually, my friend Gene, who I've had on a couple times, Does a bunch of this. You know, he has a camera modified for infrared. It's really interesting. Can I talk about ST Studio tripods? Oh, hold on. Is ST Studio a thing, or did you just type ST twice? No, I'm assuming you typed that twice. Okay, well, tripods. That's a whole other situation, right? Let's do this. I'll go to the ones that I use. If I can find them. Yeah. Oh, I think I froze my. What happened? Am I freezing over there? Why is this thing not going away? All right, hold on, guys. My Safari's acting all goofy. Let me bang out of this. Let me close calendar too. Oh, you know, I'm going to close text edit as well since we're clearly not using it. All right, here we go. Let's open Safari back up because we know Chrome is a. Oh yeah, my CPU. I bet you I must be freezing, right? My CPU is getting rocked right now. Although surprisingly, the hard drive is not. Yeah, my frame drop is low though. No, I think I'm doing all right. Okay. Let me just see if I can get this to work now. Just gonna try to Americas. All right, so I went to Manfrotto because those are the tripods that I use. Manfrotto is a good medium place to be for tripods, right? They are, well, they range in price from pretty inexpensive to not crazy expensive. And they're decent for what they are. I would say Gitso is better, and some other, you know, for video, there's definitely like Stachler, did I say it? Is better. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything while I was doing it. All right. See you. Thanks for hanging out in Scotland. Do I play any of the guitars behind me? Sometimes I do, yes. Like the Titan. Huh. Yeah, okay, so right, studio stand versus... Well, you know, with tripods, it really depends on what you're doing. You know, it really does. And one of the things that you have to understand is that in order for a tripod to really be stable, it's going to need to have some weight to it. You know, I mean, yeah, you want to carry a lightweight carbon fiber tripod. But the thing is that if it's super lightweight, it's not going to be as stable if you are in environments where there could be wind and stuff. If you're in the studio and you have a very stable lightweight tripod, that's probably fine. So if you are going on location, which is the time that you probably want to carry the lightest tripod, you know, I wouldn't go too light. As far as what you take, it really comes down to just what you need. You know, it's like that's hard to say. Personally, there's three kinds of heads that I like. I'm looking for my mouse. I lost it. There it is. Let's look at the heads. And the heads are more important than the legs. The legs are basically whatever you need. You know, get them tall enough and they can carry as much weight. When you look at your heads, though, tripod heads. So there's kind of, you know, there's three kind of basic heads that I use. You've got ball heads, right? And then you've got the three-way head. You know, which I guess these are as well. And then you've got your geared heads, right? Your geared three-way head. Now, The ball head is going to be faster, right? You throw it loose. Great for when you do, right. Not seeing my awesome acting. You can loosen it up, move everything really easily in any direction. That's really great for portraits where you're moving fast and you really just want the tripod for a little extra support. That's, if you notice, the main one I use during the Adorama live streams is a ball head. That's like that because I loosen it a little bit and I can move it around, and it just allows me to shoot faster. And then I can still quickly tighten it and walk away. My camera's still where it is. I don't have to worry about, oh, where am I going to put my camera? It's on the tripod, right? So I'm a fan of the ball head for that. If you are trying to, if you're going to set something up and leave it set up, then I like a three-way head. Mostly because they're cheaper. Three-way heads are going to be way less expensive, and typically they have levels on them where you can get like a little, I don't have one here to show you. I usually use a little carpenter's level. It's like about maybe this, if I'm actually doing jobs. It's maybe this long. I'll have to get one. I don't have one here. Maybe I'll go to Home Depot and buy one. And just put it on top of your camera. But anyways, you want to level, you can level out stuff, and then you can do it independently. So you can level yourself this way, and then you can level yourself front to back. You can get everything exactly where it needs to be. Then you can make adjustments, turn each piece separately. This way you're creating a static shot. So that's what I use, even though I'm using it for video. All my static video shots that I use, I have three-way heads. And mostly, like I said, because they're cheaper. I could use ball heads, of course, but I'm going to spend a little more money. And getting it to lock down and be perfectly level is not as easy, in my opinion, with the ball head. It's not impossible, clearly. I mean, it's especially with the levels inside the cameras, it makes it a lot easier. But I like a three-way head for kind of the cheap static shot. Now, when I'm doing product photography, this is when I use... there's also these things like that kind of stuff we're going to talk about. This is when we use the geared head. So the geared head... What is a good picture of this thing? Your geared head is basically a three-way head, but you can adjust by turning each of the directions in little tiny increments. So this is a terrible picture. Come on, Manfrotto. Yeah, there we go. So you can obviously do it faster too. You can like release the whole thing and move it around, but you can basically be like a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and you can move it in fixed increments. It's great for product photography. It's great for product photography because you never, especially with heavy cameras and stuff and lenses, because even with the three-way head, in order to move it, you have to loosen it and then move it, right? With the geared head, it never gets loose. The head is, the camera is locked. So when you're moving it with the gear head, it's very precise. So if you're doing a lot of product photography, geared heads are amazing. They are frustrating as heck for portraits because they're not fast to move even when you release them. So, that's why you really need different types of tripod heads. I mean, they're just different tools for different stuff. And if you don't have a huge budget, buy the one that seems it would be worthwhile for most of what you do. If you mostly shoot portraits handheld and you only ever go on a tripod for product, get a geared head, right? But if you do a mix of portrait and product and you want to be on a tripod all the time, like me, you might be better off with a ball head or a three-way head. If that makes sense. 410 Junior, yeah. Yeah, Manfrotto's good. I feel like they used to be better. Sorry, Manfrotto. Like I've definitely heard of some problems with Manfrotto tripods, like people being like, "Oh, I had a Manfrotto and it fell apart," that I never heard of before. So that could just be, they're just more distribution equals the occasional problem, or maybe people just complain to me more than they used to. Gitzo is like the better version of the Manfrotto stuff, and it really is. I mean, it's way more expensive, but especially for the lightweight tripods, those Gitzo tripods are so nice. Oh. I had it was like a Traveler 5 or something that I was using for a while. I had to give it back. It was Adorama's. It was so nice. I mean, it weighed like nothing. It was super stable, unless it was in the wind, because like I said, you got to have weight. But it had a little hook at the bottom so you could hang your bag on it and give you the... not for monolights. Definitely not for monolights. Oh, you know what else Gitzo has too? I don't know if that's... Yeah, is that what you're talking about, centering? One of their tripods has a if you guys use video tripods, I don't know if you ever used it, but like a true video tripod, they've got like a bowl that the head sits inside of, so you can level the head separately. And there's a Gitzo version. So most of the video tripods don't have necks that go up and down, but there's a Gitzo tripod that has a bowl in the neck, so you can bring the neck up a little bit and still level the neck. It's nuts. I wouldn't know what it was called this way. Yeah, I wouldn't get a geared head if you mostly shoot product. Mostly shoot portraits rather. It'll be frustrating. Yeah. Vanguard. Yep. Did I really forget to share the screen? Damn it. When I was looking at the tripods? Let me go back. There we go. I got to move this over so I can see. Sorry about that, guys. So the geared head is... I mean, I wasn't really referencing it except for in the geared head. So a geared head is like this. And each of the three-way pieces, right, can be moved separately, as I explained. You can see it there. Here, I'll put a link if you guys want to look at the... Actually, I can't put a link because it's on the other thing. Yeah, if you just go to Info, you'll see it. Again, good for product. Maybe I'll get some heads one time and we'll show you the difference. The problem, see, what's funny is I'm watching it here to talk to you guys, but there's like a minute delay. So I don't... So it looked like I was sharing the screen, but then clearly I wasn't. Now I have the screen shared, which is good. Favorite one? The Manfrotto one is the only one that I've used. There's two of them. One's called Junior, I think, and then there's this one. This is the one that I've used. No, the other one is the one I usually use, I think. It looks a little different. I mean, the one I had was older. Yeah. Well, you know, it's super funny when it comes to tripods. Tripods are one of those things, right? Where it's not sexy like the way a lens or a camera is. So when you look at it and you're like, oh man, $1,000 for a tripod, or even $300 for a tripod. But like you could have tripods for like you will have a tripod through 2 or 3 generations of cameras. I mean, they last. You know, if you get a good one. So it sucks, but if you want to shoot on a tripod, get a good one. That's what I would recommend. And you can buy used ones too. My old Bogan, which is Bogan by Manfrotto, I still use it, and that thing's got to be like, it's pushing 20 years old. So, I mean, every once in a while I have to like tighten screws on it, but man, it still works. What do I think of Really Right Stuff? I think they make cool stuff. You know, they don't make full-on tripods though, do they? No, this is the last time I looked. I know they make all the little accessories, right? They make all the little like tank. Oh, do they make tripods now? Let's see. I've only ever seen. Oh yeah, I guess they do. I've only ever had experience with their heads and stuff. They have these like really interesting ball heads and like accessories to like camera plates and stuff like that. Really well made. You know, the stuff that I've used, anyways. Not inexpensive. You know. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff. Actually, I think. Yeah, I think this is the one that I had for a little while on one of my. Looks like it, anyways. It was like a little tiny ball head, but it's a weird ball. It's like you need to get used to them. They are very different than regular ball heads. Well, those ones are. This one here is, of course, just a regular ball head. They're really good. They're really small. They're not cheap, you know. So good company, a premium, you know, premium company. Let's see. RSS balls or 55. Oh yeah, no, they're. It's a good line of product, and again, you pay for it, you know. Arca Swiss also. Yeah, Yeah, Arca Swiss also makes really good tripod. Again, not inexpensive. If you landscapes, you'll love it. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it really comes down to what you're going to use it for. You know, I don't, even though you see me using tripods all the time, I'm like a tripod guy. So like I don't use like a really good tripod. I just have a bunch of them. But I would, yeah, I have used some of these heads and they are like crazy. Um, yeah, they're very good, very very good stuff. So you know, it's always good to have a tripod. You know, whatever kind you can get. 43 years. Wow. Wow. There you go. Oh, all right, guys. I think I'm about worn out now. We didn't actually do the thing I was going to do, but maybe I'll come back on and do another live stream. You may have noticed there was no video today from Adorama. That's one reason why I'm doing this is because the new Sony came out. So that's pretty exciting for Sony people. I saw Sal made a really cool video with it, Sal from Adorama. So if you guys didn't see that, go to Adorama's YouTube and check them out because pretty cool. You know, it's a 3 something. Hold on. You think I would have remember the name of it? I literally just watched it. Where's my thing? Where's my mouse? There it is. Let us take a look. It is. Let's go to Adorama. I'm sure it's right on the first page. Yeah, A7S3. So this is like a new Sony. What are you doing? And there should be, if they did this, yep, they did. Good. So if you go to the product page, you can probably see the video that he shot. Yeah. So check that out, guys, because that was pretty awesome. That's not inexpensive, but it looks like it's probably a premium camera. I don't know the Sony line that well, to be honest with you. I remember when the A7S came out, though, it was like huge. Because it was probably the first camera that was really, really good in low light. Like phenomenally good. But of course now a lot of cameras are, so we'll see. I mean, all this innovation in these cameras is definitely going to keep things moving for us. Yeah, I like to cross over. I'm a crossover kind of guy. If you guys don't follow me already, follow me on Twitch because I do more. I'm probably going to be doing more live stuff on Twitch. It's funny. This looks like a clearer signal, which is bad for me. But Twitch is actually an easier user experience when streaming for me. So the live streams I like to do there, but I'll try to do more on YouTube, and I'll get more of my other videos back out on here. Took them 5 years. Has it been 5 years since the 2? I don't remember. I mean, they've been putting out so many different cameras. Yeah, yeah. I know that the cameras were, that this one is one of the ones that was, they probably didn't know what to do with it. I'm trying to look to see if they went more megapixels, because I know it was a pretty low megapixel camera. And that was kind of part of the reason why it was so good for video. But, oh man, look, here's these cases. We were just talking about this. Look at this one. Nope, you guys aren't seeing it. There we go. This is what I was talking about before. Look, it's all colorful when you play the it's so crazy. Look at that. Yeah. I wish Apple would do that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know people that so like I do a some people I know I do is where we stream and we play games, and some of my players can't even get on Twitch. Like they literally cannot get on Twitch because their computers are older or their bandwidth is not enough. So, but then just the back end of Twitch is, it's got so much more automation for the streamer, so you don't have to be like on top of this as much. But We'll see. I'm working on getting both of them together. I got to work the switcher better. I need to position myself so I know when I'm uh, on what thing. Well, actually, if I had this over here, because now I'm noticing that I just got this. By the way, if people came late, part of the reason why I'm screwing everything up is because I'm using the. I know I'm really small right now. Hold on. Yeah. I'm using this stream deck thing. So I just realized now that the one I'm on is lit up. So if I go here, so if I put it here, I'll know what I'm doing. Oh, all right. I just have to reposition where it is. That'll be better for me. So this is pretty cool, though. It's like a little baby switcher. Good night from Norway. All right. I made Seth sad. Seth is killing it on Twitch. He really is doing a great job. So I would not even be on there if it wasn't for him. I mean, I had an account, but I wasn't doing anything. It's such a different platform. But as I'm learning more about it, it really is from the streamer's perspective. It really is in a sense better. But yeah, you'll see more on Twitch again because I'm getting that going. I need to figure out this whole streaming thing. Seeing like my computer's not super hot, and I'm not dropping any frames. Oh. Yeah. All right, Thomas. Thanks for posting. Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. When there's interesting stuff going on around you, it's cool because you have something to document. But yeah, you'd almost rather peace, right? I feel that same way too. On an ATM, no, that's the switcher thing, right? I'm only using. I don't know what to get. There's so many things. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I had like a moment where I was dropping a bunch of frames, but then now I'm down to 1.1% total overall, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I was dropping like for something. Some of the software just doesn't. Whatever you hit something and it starts dropping. I'm gonna try a different technique. Actually, so I may end up streaming again this week here because I have my Sling Studio, which I normally use when I do my live streams with a multi-camera. But I'm thinking about routing this through that so that I can actually take the burden of the stream off the laptop. It's kind of like using two PCs if I do that. It's a little more clunky though, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, yeah. I've definitely like I'm learning to like again. I learned that Chrome was one of the things that was really a problem. So no Chrome. And also, I think I was dropping at the beginning or stuttering at the beginning because I was actually watching the YouTube channel, and I had the back end of YouTube going so I could see the stats, so I could watch the frame rates and stuff, and I had another page open. So I think that's probably part of the. Yeah, that's what I thought. Right, the Mini Pro, it hardware encodes, but like yeah, I might have to look at it because that's what the Sling will do. The Sling will also hardware encode. So it's basically the same thing, and I already own the Sling. It's just a matter of, it's not exactly the same thing because it's not a switcher, really. You have to use a separate product to switch. You have to use an iPad to switch it. But I think because I have it, I might just go with it because I already have it. And we'll see if that works. And if it does, then maybe I'll look at this other thing. Because like I said, I feel like that the world is going to become, I'm going to be streaming a lot more, I think. I thought, I had a lot of hope that, things were going to start completely going back to normal, but I think we're only going to get some way there. So I think you're going to see a lot more of me streaming, whether this stuff or with models doing photo shoots and stuff, but with smaller crew. Oh, hey, thanks. Arizona, beautiful out there. I will look at that though. Seth's mentioned the Mini several times. He's always trying to get me to buy stuff. Does that ever sell it? Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. What's the difference between that and that, though? Pro. Oh, man. Do I want Pro? Yeah, I do. I want Pro for $200 more. Huh. Yeah, Seth was trying to explain this to me. I'll have to look into it. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm. You're gonna see some videos on. I think I'm gonna set up a green screen too. I feel like that's like a fun thing to do. So we're gonna do some fun stuff here. You can add the other unit. Yeah. No. I mean, it comes down to like the question becomes, do I want to? This might be another whole other live stream. I could probably buy an entire PC for this, you know, or build one anyways, or close to this. Maybe not much more than this. So it's like, should I just get another PC to do that encoding? Because then I have a PC that I can use for other things too. So that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. You know, it's like every dollar you invest. I think it's super important for us as people that are doing this either as your business or your livelihood, or if you're just starting to do it, or if even if you're just doing it for fun, you got to figure out like where's your money best invested. You know, so I'm looking at a few different things. I think that if I hadn't just bought the Stream Deck, I might have considered getting this just as a switcher before. But now that I already have the Stream Deck, I don't know. I'm still up in there. Oh my god. I don't know about that. I feel like that Vanessa's a better actor than I am. I'm not sure I could. I always feel bad making fun of people too. Like, but I guess it's not really making fun of people. It's all in good fun. But, anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna drop out and eat something. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll try to come. I'll have another video this week, one way or the other. But we won't be live at Adorama this week, but next week on the 6th. So if you don't follow me, just follow me on something else, and you'll know that easier. So Instagram, I always let people know there. I'm trying to do it on. Oh, I forgot to do Twitter. Damn it. I have a thing. I'm going to do it right now. Oh, no, I shouldn't do it. I set this thing up. I got to show you one last thing. There's a little button right here. This one, I guess it is. Yeah, backwards. You probably can't see it. I don't know if you could read it, but basically, when I press this button, it sends a tweet that says, "Oh, come on my YouTube, I'm about to go live," and I forgot to press the button. I spent like 20 minutes setting that up to then not use it. That's just classic Daniel. So yeah, I got to. Yeah, see you guys. Yeah, Marissa's doing well. We'll try to get her back on. I haven't talked to her in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm fading, and I will talk to you later.